All right, so we're back at it again with another replays video. It's your boy Dope. Um, yeah, so we'll get into it. In preparation for stage 2 of the Duelist Cup, I know I came into this saying I was gonna play Christian K9 and Lunalight, excuse me, and I decided, after like kind of just playing the first stage, which I was able to get through the first stage, so I qualified for the second stage, which is awesome. But after playing through the first stage and just playing some ranked, I realized a lot of people are playing Odeon and just weird stun decks still. And the answer to these stun decks really is a deck that I like a lot. And also not just the stuns, but a lot of people are playing, obviously, Full Loss, Parelia, Maxi at 1. And you don't want to be hit with those cards on the decks that I mentioned, especially Christian K9. Lunalight, you could bypass that because, 2 Liger Dancers basically auto win. But, yeah, so I started playing Dracotail again, and Dracotail has a pretty good matchup against all of the like a lot of hand traps, especially Fulos, Parelia, and Maxi. You can do limited plays and still get a lot of disruption on the board. So yeah, we have a few root plays we'll talk through, and then I just want to show you the deck profile. So let's get into it. I think there's about 5 replays I had. All right. So yeah, so let's see my deck first. Alright, so pretty standard. I'm running a 41 card deck. I know, like, I usually like to keep it at 40, but I took out Nib, and I think I just added an extra pan because there's a few games where I realized like I didn't have enough Dracotails. Yes, it's a brick, but if you have a Femina and you're going second, or if you're going first and just have like extra Dracotail monsters in the hand, it just helps. So yeah, we'll go to the deck profile. So 2 Droll. I think Droll is really powerful in this meta. You got decks like Mitsurugi running around. Depending on where you apply Droll, could be a really good way to shut off a lot of decks, especially if they're going first. Maxi, one of not a lot I gotta say about that. And then we have this card. This is not usually played a lot unless if you're playing the branded package, because it's a light, and all the other Dracotail monsters are different attributes and not light. So it basically allows you to get one of your field spells off of branded fusion when you use Sanctifier in most cases, or you could also use Albion the branded dragon. So that's that. 3 Ash, 2 Ghost Bell. Honestly, I gotta see if I really still need these. I don't know. I feel like it hasn't come up to enough where I'm like, oh my god, Bell's great. Bell is a really good hand trap, but I'm trying to see if it's still meta relevant. So I gotta do additional research. Obviously before the second stage. And then in 3, Malulu, 1 Fallen of Albaz, 1 Cartesia. I was thinking if I did cut like these cards, I don't know, like Nib, I kind of cut Nib because of Ripper, but I don't know, I haven't really been running into too much. I mean, I have ran into maybe a couple Rippers over my stretch. So I don't know, I have to figure it out. But this is good really against Azuna, especially if Azuna is dumping a card and then Lupus is trying to reborn. So I don't know, just off that I might just keep it. And Nib like is useless against Ripper because it negates hand traps. So I don't know. I'm just gonna stick with that right now. But if I did cut one of those, I would add another Cartesia. Cartesia is a great card. It has a great recursion. It's a way to fusion summon monsters outside of your regular spells and Femina. So and it's a good normal summon. Also Maluz does the same thing. Maluz is limited to Dracotail monsters, whereas Cartesia can fuse into anything. You can use itself and other monsters, excluding itself too. So really good there. 2 Parelia, I feel like this is really good in the current meta, with all the Vanquish Soul Kanon decks running around. You also have now Radiant Typhoon, which is another meta deck, so I'm going to keep that right now. Full Loss, I feel like it's still a good card in this meta. Decks are summoning from extra deck, so this is going to sometimes shut off their turn if they don't have an answer to it. 3 Lucius, 3 Femina, One Magnemite. I cut this card a couple times. Bystials aren't doing that great right now, but this card is really good when you're able to summon on your opponent's turn the end phase and then get like initial, like one of these monsters, or you can just draw a Foul Naves to help break the board. So, and then it's also additional disruption, like against a deck that plays lights and darks. So I don't know. I just feel like it has a lot of utility, and it's another great recursion card. So like you can add it back with your Althalion, and then continue to disrupt their graveyard, and get another body and get another draw. So it's like this deck is all about outgrinding your opponent, and then basically my 4 bricks. But like I said, they're really good in combination with other Dracotail cards. So I want to see these cards as much as I can, especially opening with some of the other cards. But this is going to destroy a field spell upon activation in the graveyard, and then Pan is going to destroy a monster in the graveyard or on the field, but activates in the graveyard, excuse me. And then 2 Branded Fusion. This card is like basically a win more card. If you see this in your hand, like it's very likely that you're going to win that duel. Even if they ash this card and you have like other follow-up cards like these other 2 spells, this is still like just really great. Hey, what's up, Tricky? How's it going, man? Long day at work, just getting on, playing some games today, or actually going through some replays. So, but yeah, and then key 2, need these 3. I feel like at some point on the ban list this is going to get cut, but for right now we're able to keep it at 3. I think in the OCG has it at 1, or is it TCG? I can't remember, but yeah, this card is probably going to get hit. Rahu. Also really good. I like this card better just because it allows you to add cards to your hand. So if there's something that you need in the hand, and then it's really good going second. It has an additional effect if your opponent has monsters, whatever you add, in addition to whatever else you have in the field or in the hand, you can use this fusion. This card doesn't really have like an extra like second effect. It's just like a fusion spell essentially for Dracotail monsters. And then the 3 traps. This trap's gonna push an attack pot monster back to the hand. Also recycle another card or Dracotail monster, and then you get a draw. This card's going to negate a spell card on the field. You have to target it, so that's kind of annoying, but if you're able to target it, you get the draw and you get to recycle a card in the graveyard. And then Sting is going to banish a spell, trap, or monster effect. Spell, trap, and a monster or monster to the banish zone. And obviously you'll get to get a draw and recycle one of your Dracotail monsters. So like this deck is really about outgrinding recursion, not really building like a really strong board with monsters. The monsters actually don't really do like much on the field. Their effects usually are really powerful, but they're not just like negate. It's more of like a, hey, how do we outplay our opponent through multiple layered disruptions, from the hand, the graveyard, back row, things like that. And then for the extra deck, I'm playing 2 Gulamel. I just feel like sometimes a lot happens to the first one where I feel like I wish I had another one, so I added 2. This card's really good. It has an effect, a quick effect after a Dracotail monster is activated. You can pop any card on the field. It could be spell, trap, or monsters, field spell, anything. So that's really cool there. And then obviously the recursion of coming back from the graveyard if 2 monsters are sent at the same time. And then the branded package, not a lot to say here, but really essential, like I said, is to win more. Albion. This card is not at its final form yet. We're still waiting on additional support that will make this deck even better. So this deck will look a little bit different when we get that. But this card is still really good. It's a good fusion target. And yeah, it just has a lot of great utility with the deck, especially, like I said, with this card that we're using. It can send us to the graveyard, and then we can kind of go from there with Branded Fusion. This card, hey, what's up, Laughing? This card's also really good. It doesn't come up too much, but there are some like decks that like to special summon monsters, and they kind of run the same type. Like think of, for example, like if you're playing against Yummy, for example. Like if what is it, Marshmouse summons itself from the, well, that's probably gonna happen if there are no monsters on the field, but it could still come up where like there's other decks where it's effect summons itself and you get to banish the monsters. So that's really cool there. I think there might be a replay where that does come up. And then we don't gotta say much about Mirror Jade, you know, non-target banish, and then wiping the field upon like removal is just great. This card obviously is more recursion. It's gonna, you know, get resources back into the deck. You know, really standard branded card. This card is actually really good. Going second, like, you know, sometimes you can use this card to just negate an extra deck monster, or at least pin down one of their monsters. So like you usually get into this card by using Fulos and Albaz, these two cards, but this is a Winged Beast, and this card says you have to have at least one Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast monster, so that's really cool there. And then I already talked about Albion. This is the card you're usually sending, like if you're going first, you're summoning this card most times off Brand Diffusion. Like I said, it has great disruption, it's non-targetable, and like, you know, it's a big body, it has 300, you know, or excuse me, 3,000 attack. But yeah, really good card. And then Star Source, another board breaker card, so you know you get the destruction effect. You know, obviously if you're able to get like 2 dark monsters, Malulu and Albaz in most cases, or sometimes Magnamut if you have it, you'll get the 2 pops. If not, you'll usually end up having these cards at some point, adding them through like one of the spells, and you'll at least be able to get 1 pop, right? So really good there, and it can help like just kind of win games if you're trying to push for lethal. And then Arthalion is kind of like the main extra deck monster. It's gonna send cards from your graveyard, the field, anywhere back to hand. Usually you're sending like you know, you're adding back like really essential pieces that you need to make plays, or sometimes hand traps like Maxi or Ash Blossom, you know, Joel and Lockbird. Joel and Lockbird kind of conflicts with the deck a little bit because you want to add cards from your deck with the traps, but you know, like if it shuts off another deck, then it's totally valuable, so that's why I'm playing it. So yeah, and then it has the recursion of if 2 monsters are sent to the graveyard, it's going to come back, so just like Gulamel. And then Sectarion, this is a floodgate. I don't know if this will ever get banned, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, so it has the effect to basically not allow your opponent to activate any dragons or spellcasters, right? So, you know, if you're playing against a dragon deck or a spellcaster deck, I know there's a lot of like, you know, Dark Magician, Degrune players running around these days because of the new support. So this is gonna this is gonna shut them down. Sectarion is fair and barely anyone is playing Dracotail. That's true. Like, you know, I actually was a big fan of Dragon Link, and like I had a game, I think I had a replay on my YouTube where like I actually like crushed the Dracotail player with Dragon Link, but I was just thinking the whole time like, man, if he somehow summons this Sectarion dragon, I'm cooked. And he never, I don't know if he just couldn't get to it or whatever the case was, but yeah, this deck really sucks if you're playing like, you know what, Blue Eyes or something that relies a lot on like Dragon the spellcasters. But like, hey, I'm gonna use it. I had that too before because there was a lot more Dracotail matchups, but these days I don't really see it that much. I'm usually running into Vanquish Soul, a lot of freaking Odeon stun decks, and then Radiant Typhoon every now and then, maybe some, you know, Krishan, Mitsurugi stuff in there. And then the 2 Link monsters, you know, Verte, you know, if you're able to have 2 monsters on the field, you know, you want to make the extra play to get like that 3rd trap, you know, through Brand Diffusion, you know, really powerful, and it sets up additional disruption that you wouldn't have without the Branded pack, so really good there. And then you also have Little Knight. Little Knight's usually going to be a card to, you know, just add disruption, or actually playing second where you can like clear out certain like back row, that nasty back row, or just, you know, pin down certain cards, you know, so it's really good. So like I think this is a really good extra deck here. Not much to say there. So yeah, let's get into the replays. So start with the first one here. Really not sure. Well, Nibiru, Baron, and what? Not really sure what deck this was. Hard to tell from the cards that they chose. All right, so I'm going first this game. Not the best hand, going first at least. So I just end my turn because I really can't do much here. Oh, I really like that skin. Okay, so I'm playing against Yummy. So he's trying to summon from the hand, so I activate Pirellia, and then I add a Maxi on top of it because he doesn't like respond. And then he obviously has cross out, which is good for him. So no Maxi this turn for me, but the good thing about Dracotail, I can always add it back. So sorry, man. I get the draw, and then I draw into Famina of all cards, which is amazing. So I got, like I said, Pan, Urgla in hand, so like, this is going to be easy money here. So we activate Famina. He doesn't have 2 yummies on the field yet, so what I'm going to do here is just pop, pop, and then I think it's GG's, right? Now what would suck is I think he still had his normal summon, so that was the only thing I was thinking, like, okay, if he has his normal summon, what can he really do? He doesn't have that field spell anymore, so, but we'll see. I think he's playing Mitsurugi, so okay, yeah, so he tries to summon that, and then we always Ash Saji, so Ash that, and then I think from there he's pretty much just cooked. Like, he has no other play. He used up his normal summon, can't get access to his, oh yeah, then he had Habakiri, but like, he's not gonna really be able to do, yeah, he just scoops it up. He's not gonna be able to do much. The Habakiri is not gonna be able to, yeah, so yeah. Alright, cool, short and sweet, but not the best turn 1, but we ended up making it work with the Parelia and the draw on the Famina, which was insane. So I think that was more of a lucky one, if anything. Alright, let's go into the next one. So this one's up against Radiant Typhoon. So a deck that's seeing a lot of play right now. I think it's a really good deck. I haven't actually constructed it yet. I have about like almost 9,000 gems. I'm like, should I pull? I'm trying to see what the next pack will be, because if it's branded, I'm going all in on that. Anyways, so yeah, Parelia gets activated against me. It doesn't really hurt our deck. Like I said, this deck is awesome against Maxi. I'm going to play the game, right? I'm not going to sit there, oh, okay, your turn, because you activated a freaking card that's going to add cards to your hand. Like, if you add a card or 2, I'm still going to end up with like 5 to 6 plus disruption. So like, I feel like that's what you have to think about. Not just thinking about, oh, they're adding cards. If you can like plus disruptions, like if you do 1 for 1, like they add a card and then you get 1 disruption, maybe it's not ideal because they still have all these cards. But if you're able to like really like, you know, if 1 draw results in like 4 to 5 disruption, it's definitely worth playing the game. So that's the good thing about this deck. Anyways, let's keep going. So I activate K2, get Lucius. He adds a card. Like I said, not concerned about that. I don't really summon from the hand the rest of the turn. Famina activates here. We use all 3 cards in the 2 cards in the hand, and we use 3 bodies to go into Arthalion. Alright, alright. And then we add back a couple cards, Droll and Famina, and then Lucius activates. And then we set Sting. We already have Flame in hand, which is really good. Get Famina back, Droll back, and then we activate Rahu, which I had in hand as well, so pretty cool there. And we activate the 2 cards here. We'll get Famina back through Urgla's effect, which is cool. Activate those 2 in the graveyard. And then we basically just set the next trap, Horn, and then I think I just set another field spell. Okay, K2, and then yeah, add back Famina. And then we set Flame, and then pass our turn. Alright. See what he's... Okay, so Radiant Typhoon. He does a lot of activation in the draw phase. I know you can't see draw phase, but he's in the draw phase right now. So I'm just letting him do all this stuff. Like, nothing is activating right now really matters to me. This card matters to me. So I don't want him to get Mythical Face Typhoon, but he ends up having it in hand. So this is the thing that I say sucks about this deck. Flame targets. It's not just a negate. So if I can't target the card, I don't negate it. So, you know, he baited me with that one. He got it. Alright, so he adds another Mystical Space Typhoon. I'm gonna just say MST, man. Alright, so we sting the graveyard. We get one of the MSTs out of there. And Parelia, just because we can. So he has 2 more in the deck. We add back, or we get Malulu off that draw, which is pretty cool, but can't really do anything with it right now. Yeah, I'm just gonna use my Horn. So the thing is, when they start trying to show you a back row, even though you're not really doing much, just use it anyway. It's going to the graveyard, at least get some utility out of it. In this case, I'm gonna send back my Arthalion. Like I said, the thing about this deck, a lot of these fusion monsters outside of Glulamel don't really do much. Like, Arthalion is not doing anything on the field. Like, he doesn't have a negate, he's just a big body. So I don't need him on the field. So let's just get a draw off of him. Get my draw, add back my trap. The recursion, like I said, is important, so make sure you're getting all that recursion. Alright, and then, so, yeah, he adds this card. And then I draw him. I've been waiting for the draw. Draw kind of hurts his deck at certain points. So what I realized here, he has 2 monsters. So he can go into that level 2 to set Radiant. So my goal here is to use Goulamel to try to pop. I'm not worried about that face down card. I know that card is a quick play spell. He can't do anything with it this turn. It's not a card that he'll be able to use until next turn. And by that time, I'm hoping that I'll have something to answer for it. So I'm worried about just surviving this turn. And then he activates Ascendance to add another Mystical Space Typhoon. I think he's trying to like chain to not let my Goulamel go through, but it doesn't work out for him. So Malulu and Lucius fusion into Arthelion again, so he comes right back. So Chain Link order. So remember, he has priority, turn priority, so his Chain Link is going to be lower, mine is going to be higher as the non-priority player, which is great for the play that I'm making. So I don't know if he could do anything to like dodge this. He probably already knew, but anyways, it just works out in my favor here. So we activate Lucius, or Malulu first, then Lucius. So we're just going to set 2 cards, and then Goulamel is going to pop the other cards. So I'm trying to like prohibit him from linking into that link too. So we pop. Lucius sets Rahu. Malulu's going to set the Flame because we already have K2 down, and then we negate the effect so that he cannot activate. Because this effect right here is basically trying to special summon from the deck. So like it says, if you activate a Radiant Typhoon quick play spell, which he did, or MST, which he did, you know, you can special summon 1 Radiant Typhoon monster from your deck with a different name. So anytime a deck is trying to special summon from the monster and they have options of what they can special summon, don't let them do it. So yeah, so we negate that. He still goes into the link 2 anyway, which, okay, cool. Getting into, okay, then, but yeah, he can't really do much, like, you know, it's like we just kind of did our thing there. So sorry, man, but GG's. All right, next one. This is what, Vanquish Soul Canine? Yeah, I think this one is. All right, let's see what it's about. All right. Yo, this hand, I just gotta like, this hand was insane. Like, got Branded Fusion, Urgula, I mean the brick, but with Femina, it's not a brick. And then Perulia, I mean, yeah, we don't really do anything, but it's just fodder. Like I said, this deck, when you have a card like Femina, it's just fodder, like to add stuff back and then draw. I mean, not helpful on our turn, but yeah, like I'm feeling good. So let's play it out. Branded Fusion first, no Ash. We go into, I think, Albion Sanctifier. And then we activate, and then he has Azuna, because I activated the monster in the graveyard. So I activate Femina, might as well, because he's going to negate it with Ripper. So we take all 3 bodies and go into Arthelion. So my thought process here was I was going to send back one of the monsters he summoned, but I was like, nah, honestly, I'm not really worried about it. So I just let him keep whatever he wanted on the field. So add back all 3 because I don't care what he's doing. Doesn't really matter. Yeah. He's going to send Lupus to the graveyard. Yep. And I set my 2 spells. And then I'm going to add back those 3 cards that I want. Brixel. Alright, so we get Lucius, normal summon Lucius, add Pan. So right now, I'm feeling good because I have Pan in hand, I've activated Rahu, so basically I have an answer to what he's trying to do. Pan is going to destroy non-target, any monster on his field, and then I think I send... Wait, what do I send with Rahu? Do I send Urgula? Okay, Malulu. Yeah. So Malulu's gonna negate... Wait, no, I didn't send Pan. So Goulamel, I'm sorry, I got this mixed up. So Malulu's gonna try to negate, so it's kind of forcing him to activate. There we go. So So that's what we want. We're trying to force effects. So he tries to go into Nash Knight, which either way, this is not looking good for him because, see, like if he did nothing, I would have negated his Lupus. So by me activating Malulu, and the good thing is non-target, which is insane. He had to activate his Nash Knight, and it's still going to get negated. So regardless of how it played out, if he left Lupus there without activating, it would have got negated. If he activates to go into Nash Knight, because of how the turn priority works out, his activation will happen first to my lower activations. So he's going to activate to XZ summon, card hits the field, and then when I get to Malulu, it's going to negate whatever he summons. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah. So he's cooked either way. He tried to do something, but it didn't work. I'm setting up my traps. He still tries to activate it. Nothing. But I think he's trying to get his monster to the graveyard, which is actually smart by him. And then we just pop this, get it off the field. And we can target it now because it doesn't have a Lupus. So yeah. So I guess we could talk about the disruption real quick. So got Sanctifier, which can revive back 2 monsters from the graveyard. You know, in most cases I'm going to use Albaz to fusion. I could fuse into Mirror Jade, which that's a disruption, and the Mirror Jade is another disruption, which is non-target banish, so that's 2. They got the Gulamel pop here. We can negate with Flame, add a card to another disruption if we want to. Horn will send back an attack monster. We got Droll, which is 6. We have Femina, which will fuse into another disruption. That's 7. And then Pan for another pop. That's 8. 8. Like I said, this board doesn't look crazy, but 8 disruptions. And like, even if you had like, you know, something that would have resulted in draws, like this deck can get a lot of disruption out. And, you know, yeah. Anyways. So yeah, he activates this card. Not once worried. I can fuse it and it'll come back. So I don't care about that. So basically, the goal of this deck, they're trying to get 2 level 5s on the field at the same time, so the goal is to just try to limit that. So Horn's going to push back 1. And he hasn't used his normal summon. I'm not sure why he didn't just set those in defense, but whatever. Femina activate. So he uses normal summon. Again, I don't think this guy's a good player, because why would he keep putting monsters in attack? He could have special summoned in defense, but I don't know. So yeah, so what happened there? I basically activate Femina. He tries to call by it, but like I said, Albion is also a protection against called by. So I activate my Albion, which would have pulled Femina out of the graveyard. So he would have fingered, well, he could finger something else, but he wouldn't have fingered the 2 cards I pull out of the graveyard. So just outplayed, man, and he scoops it up. Beautiful. All right, we got 2 more, and then we will call it. Not sure what this deck was. He does have Typhon though. That Typhon win rate, bro, it's not looking good. I don't help it here either. I don't even know if he summons Typhon. Anyways, I'm going second. I activate Perilia, and okay, so this is a stun deck. Whenever you see this card, it's usually a stun deck. Oh my god, set 5 pass. Like, okay, so I activate Femina. I wish I had Urgula, but we'll go into Arthalion. I think he tries to end his turn, that's why. And then we just add back some cards, set a couple as well. So we know these stun decks is going to be all about grind, and Dracotail's all about the grind, so I'm here for it, buddy. Alright, so we set the 2. Add back Femina, add back Pan. Turn 0 plays, baby. We're here for it. Alright. So we're just gonna activate some things. He's gonna negate. That's how this played out. Okay, so Rahu, he negates with Impulse. All right, good for him. Activate K2. He tries to negate with Impermanence because of it being in the same line. And then I activate Femina to dodge it and then he activates Dominant Spiral to send it back anyway. So what's going to result is no fusion because I don't have enough monsters to do anything. I only have 1. And no negate on my K2, which ultimately is what I wanted. So Malulu, and then he negates again with Songs of the Dominators. and then yeah, he adds Dominus Impulse, Purge. And yeah, I just battle, set one, and end my turn. Like, that's all we can do. Odeon stun, man. Horn's gonna add back. I think he tried to end his turn. I might as well just get a draw off of it. Like I said, recursion, draws, you gotta use it. Malulu, summon back. We get negated by Imperm. He doesn't want us to play the game. We want to play the game, but hey, like I said, we can be here all day. We got a recursion deck. Rahu activates. We fuse with 3 monsters, 2 from hand, into Arthalion. With Arthalion, we will be adding back Femina, Malulu, triggering Pan, triggering Malulu. I'm having a feeling we're going to set the 2 spells again. Let's give it another go. Oh, Flame. Oops, I already activated Rahu, yeah. And then, yeah, we add those 2 cards back. Then Kitu gets negated by Purge. I knew that was coming. That was public information. Alright, then we just swing in with Arthalion, 3,000 to the face, and turn. Pass, over to you. Alright, so the Odeon part's coming, but we have Flame to negate his Treasures of the King. Get that trash out of here, man. And then we activate Femina to go into a Gulamel. And then we get Super Poly. Oh man, this guy. So he goes into Secretarion, but based on the Chain Link order, Malulu is going to negate the Secretarion. So there's not really much you can do, man. And then we set up some follow-up with K2. And then Magnuma basically trying to end this turn. We're going to just get the Albest Search. And we're going to Mirror Jade for sure. We're going to Mirror Jade for sure. And then we get Brandon. And then he scoops it up, man. Would have went into Mirror Jade. You know, it was GG's, man. Like, yeah. Good job, Stun. Alright, then last replay. Looks like it's Vanquish Slow K9. Alright, let's see. Alright. Activate Perulia, going second. This card loves to activate from the hand, and he shuts off his turn because he doesn't want me to get draws off of his cards. He activates Fool Loss. We don't care about Fool Loss. We Ash it though, because I have it 2 in my hand, and then he activates another one. Can't activate a second Ash, so it is all good. Alright, Arthalion. Rahu. We're just doing our regular Dracotail place. Add back Ash. Activate K2. Okay, he's doing some turn 1 plays. Or turn 0 play, well, whatever you want to call it. Activate Femina. Go into Gulamel. Pan's gonna destroy, and Urgla's gonna set. Or actually, Gulamel's gonna destroy. Hey! Yeah, I'll be down. Hey, what's up? Hey, Gigi, how was your day?
Daddy.
You want to join me?
Can I?
You have a good day? Okay, let's see. Wow.
Look.
I know, that's you. You and me. All right, so we got 4,000, or that's 400. Excuse me. Distracted.
Wow, that's like lava.
Okay, so I Ash.
Tickle me.
Yeah, he's trying to summon from the deck. We don't want that.
Oh.
He activates Jokel, sets the other Jokel. Femina to the rescue, and then Gulamel chains to destroy.
Tickle.
What are you talking about, Gigi?
I'm gonna go
Alright.
tickle.
And then we fuse into
Go tickle him.
Mysterion. So this is the game where I actually used him.
Push the button.
And then they exceeds into, I
Monday.
think, Ripper. Yeah, Ripper.
I missed.
How was your day, baby? You have a good first day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sunny day, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Moon is coming to sunny day.
Yeah. Activate
Oh,
Sting.
uh-oh. I fell to Waba's backbone.
You did?
Oh, I thought
Alright, then we get Horn off the draw, which is cool.
Oh, no.
Alright, we're going to negate that case for K9 with Flame.
Pick tonight.
And then we're going to recycle back some cards. Fula sucks right now, but honestly, it doesn't really matter. He's kind of cooked. And then here we go, Mysterion. But yeah, Borger's going to add back. We're just disrupting him too much. He can't really make plays. Yeah. I think he's going to go on the Rockers the Vanquisher. So he gets a draw. You're talking a lot, baby. Rock of the Vanquisher.
And Rock of the Baby
to summon Holly Sue. And then Caesar in hand to take control of one of my monsters. And then summon Caesar.
I got a baby in my mommy.
And then he goes into Typhon. He's doing a lot. And then he battles and ends the game. So yeah. This deck's great. You should play it.
You did it?
I did it, yeah. I destroyed, well, he destroyed himself actually. He like crashed into my monster and died. So, or not died, but lost all his life points. What do you think about that? Okay. Alright, well that's all I got. Really cool deck. I think I'll be using this in the Duelist Cup. This deck and Lunalight. I think that's my two. Alright, later guys. Alright, let's go.